Oh, it got canceled. No, I really wanted to see this fight. Jan Blachowicz versus Aleksandar Rakic fell through. So Jan got injured and he's out of the fight. They were supposed to fight in Toronto, UFC 297 in January 20th, I believe. And yeah, that fell through. So Rakic immediately went to Twitter. This is how we found out. And he's looking for his next opponent. He also threw a jab at Blachowicz saying, you pulled out the second time. You can't lose a No, you said you can't lose a rematch if you pull out a second time. Now I don't know what the other time was when he pulled out. Maybe this is something we don't know about. But I'm pretty sure that Blachowicz is not faking an injury. He didn't just pull out. I am a fan of Rakic. I like Rakic really a lot. But I don't dislike Blachowicz. I like Blachowicz too, to be fair. So, and then Blachowicz returned the jab and said that I broke you already once, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, you got Rakic, just a reminder that they already fought. And this is where Rakic suffered a severe knee injury. I think he tore his ACL or one of those difficult injuries on the knee. So he was, you know, sidetracked now for quite a while, and he finally got back at it. It sucks for him. I get his frustration. But he needs a new opponent. And in the same tweet, he called out Jiri Prochazka. Said, Jiri, hey, you know, let's make it happen. He tagged Dana White, the UFC. Let's book the replacement. Let's book Jiri Prochazka. And Jiri Prochazka actually accepted the challenge. However, he said, I can't fight in January. The earliest I can do is February or March. And Rakic responded, all right, let's do February. He wants to do February, and that lands on, he wants to do specifically Irvine, California, which is UFC 298, and that lands on February 17th. So pretty much just a month from 297. And now it's the UFC's turn to see. They pretty much verbally agreed publicly. There was like public negotiations. It's good to see that. It's cool to see that. And I think that would be a great fight to make. I think it's a great fight for Rakic. If he wasn't going to fight Blachowicz in the first place, I would have definitely put him up against Jiri Prochazka. I think that Aleksandar Rakic is a big title contender. I think he has a chance to become a champion. Now, whether he can beat Alex Pereira, that's another topic, but he has what it takes. I mean, his kicks are phenomenal. The power that he has in those kicks, he's a unit. I mean, he's like 6'5", one of the bigger guys of the division, very technical, very skilled kickboxer, great takedown defense, and his record is amazing as well. He's got 14-3, and it's also not fair, those three, to be honest. I mean, one was the injury versus Blachowicz. Then he had the decision loss to Volkan Ozdemir. And if you watch that fight, it could have went either way. I think even Rakic won that decision. It was pretty controversial. And I'm not sure who he lost to before. That was probably before the UFC. But yeah, and I think it's not fair to say that Blachowicz rocked him and he caused the injury. I mean, maybe he did cause the injury, but to be fair, it was quite even up until that point, and God knows where that fight would have went. That's why I was so excited to see this one in January. But, you know, having said so, if you go by that logic, then you can also say that Curtis Blades beat Tom Aspinall back when he also injured his knee. We tore an ACL. I don't think that's fair, or, you know, just saying like Chris Weidman as well lost when he broke his leg. I mean, also, I'm sorry, a better example would be Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, right? We know for a fact after watching the documentary on Netflix that Conor actually entered that fight compromised. His leg was compromised. He already had a stress fracture. The doctor told him that in that documentary. Now, this was all filmed before the fight, so I don't see, and he never used it really as an excuse. But having said that Justin broke his leg is also, Dustin, not Justin, is not fair in that sense. So that's why I really wanted to see this match, both healthy, but unfortunately, we might never see that match again. Because yes, Blachowicz is of an older age, so to say. He doesn't have a lot of years left for him to fight, especially at that level. So yeah, it really sucks they're not going to meet, but I'm hoping that the UFC signs this. UFC 298 for Jiri versus Rakic. That would be awesome. However, I do also understand that they might keep Rakic for 297 because 297 is not looking good. You only have now Topuria booked to fight Actually, no, Topuria is not fighting even. That's for 298. That's reserved for 298. Who's fighting on 297 is Sean Strickland versus Dricus. And that's the only good fight. I don't think there's any other good fight that's scheduled for 297. That's why it's a problem. That's why they might find a replacement for Rakic for 297. But I think Ujiri is a better fight, even if we have to delay. And they might find some other replacements for 297. Now, the state of the light heavyweight division is interesting. You have now the champion, Alex Pereira, who needs a break. He's been very active, and I get it. He's definitely not going to fight at least until 300, UFC 300. That might be the card that he actually fights on and defend his title. And presumably, the next in line is Jamal Hill, the guy that relinquished the belt. However, he still has to recover fully, and I'm not sure if he's even started training. I don't think he is recovered from his Achilles. So... And I know for a fact also that Alex Pereira, sure, he's going to take a little break right now, but he's not a guy that's going to be waiting for longer than that, right? He's not going to wait forever for Jamal Hill. If Jamal Hill is not ready, somebody else will step in to fight for the title. That's how I'm looking at it. And I was actually hoping that the winner of Blachowicz versus Rakic will be the case. Now that changed. We still have Johnny Walker fighting Magomed Ankalaev, and hopefully we'll finally see an end to that saga. I don't want to see another doctor stoppage or no contest or something happen or a draw with Magomed Ankalaev. I really hope we're gonna get a closure on that chapter. And who knows, maybe the winner of that will be ultimately for the title or somewhere in that conversation. Now, in the light heavyweight, the other guys that we have in the division that are lower ranked but want to get in that conversation, title conversation, is Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov needs a fight. He's ranked number 6, I believe, or 7th right now. And the other guy is in that range as well is Volkan Ozdemir, the guy I just mentioned that he had that decision win versus Rakic. So maybe the UFC is working on scheduling those two guys. If they don't schedule those two guys, you know what? You might have Rakic facing one of those two guys at 297 just to save the card. That could be a possibility. But, you know, I'd rather see Jerry. Jerry Prochazka versus Rakic is a banger. And that's a way for Jerry to get back to the title conversation. That's a win that will take him. And I think that's what he wants to see, an opponent like Rakic. I think that's the win that will take him over. Anthony Smith is fighting, obviously, this weekend versus Khalil Roundtree. There's no title conversation, in my opinion, there. I think Khalil is a big favorite, and I think this might be... I know Anthony's saying a lot of things that if he wins, he wants to face Alex Pereira. This is his way to the title, but, I mean, that's just wishful thinking. I think this is the end for Anthony Smith. As much as respect I have for him, I think he should be done. I think he had a good run. He had a good career. He already has a job as an analyst. So yeah, nothing but the best for him. And kudos to him for also, I got to mention Ian Gary for stepping in for his training partner, his friend, Neil Magny, right? Neil Magny was the victim of the harsh words from Ian Gary, right? There's trash talk and there's really mean behavior. That was, you know, speaking of Ian Gary and this whole controversy with him and his wife, I mean, in the past fight that he had with Neil Magny, he accused him with no evidence, just used his words to build a case for his fight or whatever he wanted to do. He painted a picture of Neil Magny as a child abuser. So that actually, we didn't even know. It turns out Neil Magny just commented recently that he had a battle in court for custody of his kids, and that was brought up. So luckily, he did not lose custody. He's in good relationships with his ex right now, so he doesn't have a problem. But literally, Neil Magny, Ian Gary could have ruined his life. And that's super lame. You know, you don't go into family like that with just to use as trash talk. You know, it's one thing where you make up stuff about a person, but including their kids and family and just try to, you know, potentially ruining their lives. It's pretty nasty. So Anthony Smith, he doesn't care about anything, but he thought that that was really lame of Ian Gary to do that. And a lot of fighters agree. I think the whole community agrees. And they were standing behind Neil Magny. But I'm happy that Neil Magny's okay, that he has access to his kids right now. And it didn't go south from there. In other words, so currently, Ian Gary is a part of Killcliff, right? The gym. And it seems like Vicente Luque, I think he just came out with the statement that he probably won't come back to Kill Cliff after this fight. He already got new enemies at his latest gym in the likes of Brandon Allen, Vicente Luque. I mean, they already had a thing going there, and everybody keeps saying the same thing, that Ian Gary comes with problems. He comes with cameras. He likes to stir up the pot. And they're like, okay, buddy, listen, we already got footage of you getting knocked out. FYI, check out my other video. I talked about that. And the rumors are all pointing to Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's also a part of that same gym. But that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that Ian Gary brings trouble. He brings controversy and trouble in the worst possible way, just for his own publicity. And it's not doing anybody a favor. And he's not doing any favors to himself either. By the way, he ran into Sean Strickland at the PI just the other day, I think a day or two ago. Sean Strickland revealed from his car as he was walking out of the PI, he said that security had to step in and separate them. He was giving him a look. Ian Gary was giving a look to Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland says, I really don't have anything against the guy. I only commented about his whole relationship with the wife, and which I actually care about the guy. But of course, Ian Gary, wants to fight Sean, I guess. He even mentioned in one of the videos there he might go for a middleweight title instead of the welterweight title, just so he can, I don't know what to prove, but yeah, it's a tough battle for him. It's an uphill battle he's fighting Ian Gary right there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know, would you like to see Rakic versus Jiri Prochazka in Irvine, California? I might even go see that live. That's right here in my neighborhood. It would be great footage for my channel. I would bring some extra bonus footage and videos if I do go. That would be awesome. Let me know in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe to Octacage MMA. I'll see you in the next one.